Hi YouTube, it's your boy David. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you guys for tuning in to today's video. I'm sorry I haven't posted in a while. A lot has been going on, but I give God all the praise and all the glory. So yeah, that's all I can really do. But I'm gonna try and be consistent with posting and all, so don't worry about it. I got you guys. Alright. Now in today's video, I'm going to be discussing about why you shouldn't smoke weed. The reason why I want to bring up this topic today is because unfortunately in the body of Christ, there are Christians that are divided in this belief that, oh, should Christians smoke weed? Should Christians not smoke weed? But from a biblical perspective on this, I would say that as a Christian, it's important to realize that the body is the temple of the living God. So therefore, we cannot defile our bodies. I mentioned this in the past that, you can't do whatever you like to your body because, it's not yours. You don't really owe yourself, So that's something you got to realize too. And also weed. I understand that God created weed, marijuana is there. But it's also important to realize that just because it's there doesn't mean you must do it. An example could be when we look at Adam and Eve in, the Garden of Eden. There were many fruits, many things they could take, but God instructed them not to, touch the fruit. And as a result of that, Adam and Eve both disobeyed. Um, so that's something to realize as an example, the fruit that they weren't supposed to touch. How that relates to us is that just because something is there doesn't mean you must consume it. And one of the things that's important to realize is that there are certain consequences to taking weed, especially smoking it. Smoking damages the lungs. It can lead to lung cancer. It regards to help. It also damages the brain cells. Um, a person, the more they smoke, the dumber they become. I saw that analysis somewhere on the internet. So that's that. Number two, or I guess number three, yeah, people have hallucinated with weed. Um, and even when it comes to marijuana obviously is considered a type of drugs. And drugs, the origin of drugs, or psychedelics, whatever you want to call it, is to access the spiritual realm. And as Christians, we're not supposed to access the spiritual realm outside of God. God should be our only source for accessing the spiritual realm. So, um, marijuana, what it does is it gives you access to the spiritual realm. I've heard from people that have smoked marijuana, and this one, or I think it was a story, one of those two, and the person felt as if they were outside of their body, even though they were physically there, and it has some sort of, spiritual connection. So I personally believe that marijuana is not for human consumption. Um, and in modern society, the digital age has become so confusing because, you keep hearing people change things up. What wasn't allowed 20 years ago is being allowed today. I even heard or saw something years ago about a person trying to grow marijuana in a church. I'm not gonna touch on that topic, but that's just an example of what we're discussing today. But as Christians, marijuana does not belong in the body. Don't waste your life. Don't waste the life that God has given you, because the amount of time we have on earth is short. And do you want to waste your life, being being a slave to a substance which will hinder your spiritual walk with God, which will hinder you from being all that He created you to be? So please, brothers and sisters, stay away from marijuana. It's not good for you, and it doesn't matter what a politician says. Um, Unfortunately, especially here in America, we have politicians trying to legalize it, and It's important to realize that just because a politician makes something okay doesn't mean that it truly is okay. One of the things you must ask yourself is which's more important, what God says or what the politician says. Because if you choose what society says, what culture says, um, what that shows and implicates is the spirit of idolatry. You idolize man and more than, focus on God. And the thing with us as human beings, we have the tendency to have this craving, this desire for short-term, societal acceptance instead of, looking towards long-term um, integrity and faithfulness to the things of God. See what I'm saying? So marijuana is not good, and a Christian should not be found doing it. All right, guys, that's all we have time for today. Thank you guys for deciding to watch my video today, and I hope to see you guys again. If you guys have not yet done this, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you guys again. And until we meet again, bye-bye for now.